To understand eventually, part 4. This was originally posted on my personal blog on August the 2nd, 2016, a retrospective. Knowledge and education is key for me to learn from my past. Firstly, I am no psychologist, but I can only share experiences and reasoning from my own life experiences. I have organised some specialised personality testing in mid-September, where I will be doing the official personality trigger test. I believe I am INFP. I also believe I may be somewhat of an empathic traded individual. I have made some wrong choices, lousy choices in my past where relationships have been concerned, and the extent by which I became addicted to them. This is a part I am going to therapy in the near future for, to focus on me, what led me to these subconscious and conscious decisions and patterns from forming. I believe my stubborn ability to try to empathize with my ex-partner helped in the toxic pattern that formed. I did not really have any boundaries personally. I was dependent somewhat on this relationship. I felt I got personal worth and validation from being with someone, and it was also out of loneliness and a fear of abandonment. There was also different forms of narcissism, and there are also people who are not fully fledged narcissists but have personality traits that are toxic. As the days progress with no contact, slowly the realization is budding within my mind that there was a toxic attraction between us on both sides. We had many good times, and it was these soul-inspiring times that I became addicted to. When it was good, it was addictively damn good. In my own critique of myself, I didn't love the person I was with inherently, in the mode that best fit. My dependency, my washing away the hurt that she caused me, my taking her back constantly, my making allowances for times she possibly cheated on me, the times she would pathologically exploit me, my empathy, my desire to show her more love, to try to get through to her that these were all my shortcomings. Knowledge and education is key for me, and a continuation self-evident journey. One of the biggest setbacks in my recovery was my sentimentality to the past and holding on to cards, gifts my ex-partner had given me. But to break the hold, I knew that these had to be gone. So on September the 1st, 2016, I did it. I have been reticent until now, this evening, to take in my hands all the cards that my ex had given me during our time together. I've been told that it is time to let go. I have for the most part, except for the tiny deep yearning in my soul that wishes for a different reality where my ex was concerned. I have been fighting cognitive dissonance where two conflicting thoughts spar in my mind, jostling. My heart and body next to me are the sum of her sweet words to me. But I know it is time to throw these cards in the bin. As my therapist states, these cards and whatever else you have are reminders that won't allow you the clean no contact for healing to get underway. There is a deep sentimentality that has stopped me from throwing out these until now. In her words, I read what I want to hear and see, but my memories, they provide me a reality that is so foreign to what her words portrayed. As I write each sentence now, I tear each card up. There is a vast amount of emotion, but also relief. These words shall not be reminders each time I open up the drawer. The last thing of hers exits my residence. So it must be, so it is. I have an opportunity here where the experience I have been through is something that my soul requires me to experience so that I could get to this stage of awareness, to this point of focusing on my childhood wounds and looking deep at myself and repairing things so that I will never go through something like this again. Words matter. I still believe in love. Now to chuck this all away. This was originally posted on September the 9th, 2016. This was about 3 months after the end of the relationship. I have to share this triangulation schema. This is from another support network I am linked to, The Lost Self, Life After Narcissism. From experience, a relationship with an NPD, which stands for Narcissistic Personality Disorder, which is a cluster B personality type, or someone with narcissistic traits, the relationship cycle is somewhat like this. Initial, you meet someone who appears perfect, loving, totally accepting, supportive, and empathetic. This person will ego boost you and you will form bonds quickly. Everything seems to go fast, very fast, especially into intimacy. They claim how you are nothing like their crazy ex who mistreated them, etc., etc. Devalue. The mask starts to fall off, and you start to see cracks in what was perfection. You are tested by actions and words. This is what James calls the test. The person is seeing if you will stick around if they mistreat you. Also, they will employ silent treatment and disappearing acts. This person may start to text, see other men, women, their exes to provoke a response from you. Total self-deflation. You react, you try to change, try to appease him or her. They will claim to their family or friends or other suppliers that you are the crazy one and how they have to put up with a lot from you. They play the victim. The other person uses your reactions against you to further devalue you and to others. This is projection triangulation. There are two ways this ends up. Discard. The person will discard you, toss you away, but leave you with a final infliction of injury, turmoil, such as cheating, lying, or just vanishing. You then find out soon enough that they were already on to their next source of supply. You leave. You decide to end the relationship after realizing you are in a no-win situation. Your soul is eroded, your emotional and mental capacity damaged. The other person will either move on to the next supply and smear you or claim they are sorry, and if you go back after some time, they repeat the process. Each time the process gets harder and more painful. Hindsight can have a crippling effect on someone. The what ifs and the kicking yourself to no end over mistakes and what should have been apparent. I shared ruminations such as this originally on September 30th, 2016 on my personal blog. Facebook has a feature whereby daily it provides you a snapshot of all posts as memories. I'm not sure about this algorithm, but I chose to look at yesterday's and today's past snapshot of posts, and it focused on the times me and my now ex were not together. It was almost always her breaking up with me. There was this one occasion within the first year of a relationship where I met with my ex to talk some difficulties over. It was during this meetup her mask totally fell off and she abused me in earshot of people. I remember these words she used and how she said, "I'm with you because nobody else will have you, and you are not as educated as me. You don't earn as much as me. I could have anybody else, you know." I remember after 15 minutes of this abuse where I tried to play safe to her, even apologising for my slights I didn't do, and trying to keep the peace in a crowded area where her voice rose just enough that others could hear and people looked at me and at us. I remember her telling me, "There is no future for us. I am done with you." I remember telling her goodbye, and it should have been goodbye, and walking out into that night air with tears. I remember berating myself and cursing her. A few days later she emailed me saying how sorry she was and wanting us to get back together, wanting to see me. I stupidly went back, and it was here that I should have ended things permanently. I wish I had. My strict no contact provides me now with a platform where my mind is healing and I am slowly purging. But damage has occurred to my psyche. Where I will not contact my ex, I still reflect on her. If I am to be honest, I was top grade supply. I supported her mentally and emotionally to great detriment to myself. I did not look after myself. I would come home after seeing her emotionally drained. Emotionally drained. I remember each time she would email me or text me saying, "I am so sorry, Peter, forgive me. I have come to an epiphany," and so on. And very shortly thereafter, she'd return to her old ways. It was a cycle. I was addicted to our good times and what I perceived to be deep connection. How wrong was I? I remember being told continuously I would never cheat on you, Peter, over and over again, but there was something deep within me that could not believe my ex-partner. In October 2016, I came to find out that I had contracted an STI, which is a sexually transmitted infection. My ex and I had unprotected sex, and I had been with no one else. So, posted on October 13th, 2016. Yep. A few weeks ago, I got some medical tests done. I was concerned after experiencing symptoms that I had never experienced before. I got to see my doctor this afternoon and got the results. Fundamentally, the news is a game changer for me. It is a further crippling step that I will need to manage short and long term. It explains a few things to me. My descent into 6 infections has my immune system is compromised. The doctor advised me that I can still lead my life normally, and that includes sexually, but that I would need to take extra and ongoing precautions. I know what he means, and that he means well. After the visit, I took public transport to Bondi Beach and sat on the North Rocks watching an incoming tide. My life had irrevocably changed. I will never again be 100% healthy, and with what I know now, I cannot see myself entering another relationship again. I am left with the knowledge that I am not perfect, that I have done wrong things, but to which I would never willfully endanger someone else. I'm not trying to allow these things to embitter me. I'm trying to reach a new balance within. At the beach, I allow myself for long minutes of wistfulness, imagining a point in my life, an event or situation where I chose differently and I made different choices, alternative and that alternative me was in a happy and loving relationship, in a job I love, and I had not undergone the madness that I have. One of the greatest things I will miss is the physical intimacy and intimacy in general, the touch, the contact. But I know deeply and intimately that the trust I had has worn out. I have a decision here. Do I go back and live a online existence, or simply continue on as I am? A slow recovery, reorganisation and reflection. I choose the latter. Furthermore, what I'm encountering is a compelling understanding that I won't lose hope in myself and in humanity in general.